Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to this channel. If it's the first time here, kindly subscribe, click the bell for your notifications so you can get notified anytime we drop a new video. The title of today's story would be A Good Man is Hard to Find. So grab your popcorn, get your drinks so you get to listen and learn a lot from this story. A very interesting story. James was known throughout the small town of Willow Creek as a man of incredible character. He was a carpenter by trade, but it was his kindness and generosity that made him a cherished figure in the community. He helped anyone in need, often going out of his way to make life a little easier for others. The town people, grateful for his selflessness, often said a good man is hard to find, but James is one of the best. One day, as James was walking through the town square, he saw a woman sitting on a bench, tears streaming down her eyes. Her name was Clara, and she was new in the town, having just moved with her ailing mother. Without hesitation, James approached her and asked if she needed help. Clara, too overwhelmed to speak, simply nodded. James listened as she poured out her troubles. Her mother was gravely ill and she had no one to turn to for support. James assured her that she wasn't alone and offered to help her in any way he could. Over the next few weeks, James spent every spare moment helping Clara care for her mother. He fixed things around the house, bought them food, and even sat with Clara's mother, reading to her when Clara needed rest. Clara was deeply touched by James' kindness. She had never met someone so selfless. As time passed, she found herself drawn to him, not just for his goodness, but for the gentle, unspoken connection that seems to grow between them. One evening, after another long day of caring for her mother, Clara returned home to find James standing on the porch, a grave expression on his face. He held an old tattered envelope in his hand. Clara's heart skipped a beat and she saw the worry etched into his future. "I found this in the old shed while fixing the roof," James said, handing her the envelope. "It's addressed to your mother, but it looked like it was never opened." Clara opened the envelope with trembling hands. Inside was a letter written in a shaky, unfamiliar script. As she read the letter, her face paled and she gasped, nearly dropping the paper. The letter revealed a dark secret from her mother's past, a past that Clara knew nothing about. It spoke of a man her mother had once wronged, a man who had sworn to find her no matter where she went and exact revenge. The letter was dated over 20 years ago, but the words were chilling, a reminder of a threat that had not yet come to pass. Clara looked at James, fear in her eyes. "Do you think he's still out there looking for her?" James was tensed. "I don't know, but if he is, I won't let him hurt either of you." From that day on, James stayed close, keeping a watchful eye on Clara and her mother, but an unsettling tension settled over them all, as if the shadow of the past was creeping closer, biding its time. One stormy night, Clara awoke to a noise outside. Her heart raced and she quietly got out of bed and crept to the window. In the dim light, she saw a figure moving in the yard. She froze, her breath catching in her throat. The man was tall and menacing, his features obscured by the darkness, but there was something about him that filled her with dread. Without thinking, Clara ran to his mother's room and shook her awake. "Mom, we have to go. Someone is here," she whispered urgently. Her mother's eyes widened in terror as she realized the man had finally found them. They hurriedly dressed and prepared to flee, but as they reached the door, it suddenly swung open, revealing the dark figure. Before Clara could scream, the man lunged at them, but in that instant, James appeared from the shadows, tackling the intruder to the ground. The two men strangled, their grunts filling the air. James fought with a strength Clara had never seen before, as if he was determined to protect them at all costs. After what felt like an eternity, James finally overpowered the man, knocking him unconscious. He stood breathing heavily and looked at Clara and her mother, relief flooding his eyes. The next morning, the sheriff arrived and took the intruder away. It turned out that the man had been searching for Clara's mother for years, fueled by his misguided obsession with settling an old score. But now, thanks to James, the threat was gone. Clara, grieving yet grateful, stayed in Willow Creek, knowing that he had found someone precious in James. And as the season passed, James and Clara grew even closer, their bond deepened by the trials they had faced together. The town people often remarked on how lucky they were to have James among them, and a man who not only gave his all but also protected those he lost. In Wallow Park, they knew the truth well. A good man is hard to find, but once found is a beacon of light in even the darkness of time. So guys, that's an interesting story. So do well to come to let us know the lesson you have learned in this story in the comment section. Thank you for listening to this story. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell for your notification. Thank you.